I am your host, Fat Dag, and you're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Twitter at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, and your celebrations, and I'll include them as part of the show. Before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. I am honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode number 42 of Wise Advice. I wanted to reach out and give a big hello and shout out to all of you out there and just continue to thank you for being a part of the show and writing in. And, you know, this journey is a unique journey. It is a journey of our minds. And the fact that you so openly share your parts of what you're thinking with me and allows me to kind of walk through it with you, man, it's really helpful to the entire community. The emails that I get and the tags that I see on Connect and on Instagram, that people who never knew what a podcast was and are using this as their a substitute or a supplement to their meeting, all of that is possible because of your interaction and your engagement and your sharing, and I'm really thankful for that. And I want to open up today and talk about one of the coolest things that I saw, and it really explains how I believe this is a mindset victory. I had a meeting this evening, and the meeting room went fantastic, and had a member who was had some issues with a foot and was in one of those boots, you know, those hard plastic boots that goes all the way up to your knee, and so they came in the meeting room with that. And we were sitting there talking about it, you know, in line, waiting to weigh in, and we're all thinking, well, do you take it off? Do you not take it off? What do you do? And this member said, I'm going to weigh with it on because I'm in this for the long term, and at some point it's going to come off, and it doesn't matter what the scale says tonight. I know that I'm working the program. I know that I'll continue to work the program. And they weighed in with the boot on. And sure, the scale was up, right? Of course it is. This thing's plastic. It's heavy. It's monstrous. But that didn't deter them. They kept going and, had a great meeting. And they're going to rock the plan this week. And so, man, that was probably one of the coolest moments that I've seen in a long time, because that truly shows the mindset that you have complete control in this journey. Now, normally, you know, we all know is when you hop on that scale, that number, when it rises, it's deflating and it's defeating. But we know that there's a trend line that matters, and we know that if you're working the plan, you're going to get the results. If you're working the plan with true accountability, you get true results. So one or two numbers on the scale that don't go in your favor should not deter you from continuing. So the fact that they got up on the scale and we, you know, wearing this big monstrous heavy boot didn't deter them. They're down a phenomenal amount of weight to begin with, just so you know where the scenario is. This person's well in their journey, doing fantastic work, and so very, very proud to see that moment tonight. And it just made the whole room energized, and so very, very, very cool. So that's where you want to be. You want to be where you're accountable to the scale, but you're not owned by the scale. You're accountable to the program, and you're following the program, and you have the discipline to stay on the program regardless of what the scale says, regardless of whether you had a good week or bad week. The fact that you continue to be engaged in the process, that's where the true victory comes from. So great job there. Very, very cool. So first up in the inbox, I got an email from Patricia. Patricia writes in and talks about her why. And it says, I need my weight in my life to fit my wants, my wishes, my inner secret bucket list of stuff to do. That's why I'm here. That's why I want a burning desire to be the best me in my body that I can be and do all the things that I wished I could. Rides, clothes, shopping fun, playing, laughing, seeing family, and saying, take a pic, and not caring. Having my hair cut, my nails done, walking proud, going into a Weight Watcher meeting and hearing, what's she here for? So I can swing around proudly and say, because I've been there, done that, and I'm here to share and stay this way. That pretty much sums it up. I have several small whys like going to the pool, but that right there, that's my complete why. Well, Patricia, that's very cool that you've taken the time to inventory it. And because as we walk through the journey, it's critical for us to focus on our why. There are different reasons on how to do this. There's many different ways, and every single person can find different ways to work the program, and those are all hows. The why will keep you grounded. The why will keep you wanting to look for hows. As a how becomes complacent, as a how becomes too difficult, as a how becomes too challenging, the why gets you looking for another how. And all those hows, every week the how can be different. The why is always the same. So as you take an inventory of your why, you really tap into that emotion that fuels you, that keeps you going. So it's great to see that. I'm glad that you've written them down in an email. I would encourage you to write them down in a journal form so that you have them. And I want you to read them often. I want you to every once in a while look in, because as we talk about this complacency trap, as we talk about being down 20 pounds, 30 pounds, wherever you are in your journey, 5%, 10%, close to your goal weight, at your goal weight, all of those things are amazing accomplishments. All of those things contribute to the complacency trap, where you feel better, and if you forget why you joined, it's hard to stay there. Now, you think that sometimes it's difficult. No, it's not difficult to forget why, because as you start feeling better, you quickly you forget. And so reading them continues to remind you. So Patricia, the fact that you wrote them down, very proud of you. I'd say continue to dig deep, continue to look for your whys, continues to look for new things that motivate you. Remember the first day you joined Weight Watchers? What were you thinking that morning? What were you thinking the night before? That all plays into it as well. So, I can relate. I think a lot of us can relate to a lot of your whys. And, that the fun one is I've been there. I've been in a Weight Watchers meeting out of town, and I walked in, and the leader actually looked at me and said, this is a Weight Watchers meeting, right? And I had to pull out my book and confirm that, I had the right to be here. So it was a rewarding feeling, but you're absolutely right. As we reach our goals and we reach a lifetime, it's critical for us to be in that meeting room so that somebody else can see the hope and see that what they're trying to do is actually possible and obtainable. And lifetime members out there, that is critical for us to do that and just continue. We do it on Connect all the time. It's great to do it in the meeting room more than just that once a month. So I'd encourage you all to get out and do that. So thanks, Patricia, for your email. Really, really appreciate that. Lauren writes in, she says, "Hi, thank you for your efforts to carry the message and accepting my podcast suggestion topic. Comparisons and perfectionism. How not to compare your journey to anybody else's, because I tend to fall into that rut and feel others may too. I will compare and find myself in what I call delusional thought, that what I'm doing, my ideas, my workouts, my weight loss, my body, my relationships, my life in general is not good enough. Either in perfectionist thinking, comparisons and perfections are two motivation killers. Thanks again for this, Lauren." Now, Lauren, you're absolutely right. The comparison and the perfectionism, they are motivation killers. I assure you, in the history of the Weight Watcher program, there has not been a single person who's worked the plan perfectly the entire time. There are periods of perfectionism, and for some people they last weeks, days, months. But even then, every single person has a day where they're just not up to par. So the first notion is we have to understand that there is no such thing as being perfect on the plan. There's a such thing as doing your best, and your best will change every day. We talk about how often you should do your best and what that means, and you should do your best every day. But what that means is, in the circumstances that you're currently in, do the best under those circumstances. A great example is a marathon runner. If you run a marathon on Sunday, your best on Monday is not going to be to run 27 miles. There's a handful of people on the planet who are able to do that, but generally speaking, if you run 26 miles on Sunday is probably not able to be done again. So your best on Monday, in the situation that you're in, is not going to be the same as your best on Sunday. So the plan's the same way, is you do your best based on the circumstances and what you can do. Now, as far as the comparison thing, we know that, Facebook is always the highlight reel. Connect has a highlight reel. I love Connect in the sense where, for the most part, it doesn't appear the same way that the Facebook highlight reel does. There are a lot of people on Connect sharing a lot of struggles. That is extremely powerful to show, one, that there is no such thing as a perfect plan, and two, that we all struggle. So the comparison equation doesn't enter nearly as quick because it just continues to show that we're all human. But as you seek out to compare yourself to others, what happens is you take focus off of you. And if you're looking at someone else and you're trying to find out what it is they're doing, and you're trying to get the results that they're doing, you're missing out on an amazing opportunity to learn more about yourself, to learn more about your journey. The only goals you should set for yourself is to want to do better, do your best, stick to the plan. Now, I tell you, if you look, it doesn't take long, too, on Connect to see that the people who reach goal and people who reach lifetime and people who sustain it for years, it's a smaller number than the sheer amount of people who join this program. You've seen more than once people join 3, 4, 5 times. It took me 5 times on the program to finally get it right. So if you were comparing yourself to me early on, while it may have looked like I was doing well, I wasn't able to sustain it. So the person that you're trying to compare yourself to may be struggling and you're just not seeing it. I don't want you to do that. I want you to focus on you. I want you to find out what it is that you need to stick to the plan. Find out how you can work the plan that benefits you. Find a way where you can reach other people and be an accountability partner for somebody else. That's how you compare yourself to other people. You compare yourself as a good person, not as a results-oriented person. I look at folks on Connect, and the folks that I want to be like are the people who are encouraging others. I want to be that voice where people go, you know what? I don't know anything about the plan, but I want to help other people. I want to see other people succeed. And if we all succeed, what an amazing world that would be, right? How cool would it be if every single one of us was at our goal weight? We all have the ability to get there. And it takes that accountability team and discipline and focus and working together to get there. So thanks for the email, Lauren. And I caution you again is be very mindful of the perfectionist. It's just not possible. And comparison gets you results. While you're comparing yourself to them, that person is going forward. So go forward, go get it. Thanks for your email as well. Next up, Paula writes in, and Paula says, "Hi, Mike. I wasn't always overweight. Back in the 70s, my kids were small, and I was a speed walker. Time in life came along, and I stopped taking care of me and took care of the kids instead. I worked night shift and made poor food choices, along with shifting my body to sleeping at odd hours and eating at odd hours. I rationalized it was okay to have dinner in the morning. That would have been fine, except for I had dinner at night with the family too. Years went by and I gained weight. Fast forward to the 90s, where I was still working night shift as an RN in leadership. My overweight was affecting how I saw myself, and many days in clothes at meetings instead of scrubs, where I thought I could camouflage the figure. I did the Weight Watcher program, lost 26 pounds. The diet worked, and I was now cured. I went right back to poor food choices and odd eating hours. My weight was increasing, and it really hit home when I reached 186 pounds. 186, wow. I could easily get to 200. My husband had a terminal illness, and I was able to take medical leave and care for him at home until the end. Following his passing, I was saved by a friend that cared about me. She had approved my leave. She loved me on a visit to her home last summer, and she took me along to her Weight Watcher meeting room. Wow. That leader and message hit home. I can't thank my friend enough for saving me. I was ready for change. I joined Weight Watchers online September 2nd, 2016 at a starting weight of 180 pounds after losing 6 pounds on my own. Current weight is 147.5, down 32.5 pounds, and I set small goals for myself on the way to my goal weight of 123. I will get there. When I reach 143, I will join meetings for my last 20 pounds to lose. As far as online, for this to work effectively, people must be disciplined enough to be real, to track, and to be honest. The game changer from last time for me is the Connect family. I follow you daily on Connect and I listen to all of your podcasts. I follow those I see as leaders, whether formal Weight Watchers leaders or not. I have changed my eating habits to search for fresh foods now, and I avoid most snacks and desserts or plan ahead to track them. I have a few non-scale victories, donating 2X clothings, fitting into a medium shirt and 12 pants, but not buying too many clothes now because I will be even smaller, being able to tie sneakers without straining, walking my first 5K last weekend, training daily because I have a 5K run coming up this Saturday and the following Saturday, considering myself a runner now and have a whole running wardrobe, having dinner with a longtime friend last week and celebrating her 65-pound loss on the Weight Watcher program, calculating how many points if we divided a piece of coconut cake for dessert. Mike, I'm so appreciative of the time and energy you give to us all. Please thank you and your family for sharing you and your tremendous success sincerely with us. Paula. Paula, that's a great email, and it really sums up the journey for a lot of us. We can absolutely rationalize anything, right? No matter what it is I'm trying to do, if it's a bad habit, I can find a way to justify it. I can find a way to rationalize it, and you've absolutely mentioned that. And tracking, honest tracking, helps bring those rationalizations to reality. So if we're eating a late dinner and then having another dinner, if we honestly track everything we eat, those things start showing up, and being able to rationalize them are a little more difficult when you actually see the hard data. We're able to rationalize things that we don't know the results of. So if you're overeating and you've rationalized, well, it's a long day and it's this, if you rationalize it enough but don't track it, you're never accountable to the consequences. You're never visually seeing the damage that you're doing in the tracker. So the best way to handle that is to simply track everything you eat. And it doesn't matter at this point, just track it all. You're doing a phenomenal job, but as you track it all, you start to see it. Now, as you said before, you considered it a diet, and I loved how you framed it, because I know you now know that this is not a diet and that you weren't cured. I can see that as in your writing. But when you think of it in that mindset, if you think of this as I'm just going to lose my weight and then I'm done, well, then you're setting yourself up for failure. There is a part of this journey that you can be done with. You can be done with the weight loss mode. You can get to the point where you set a goal and you want to get to your goal weight, and you can work your tail off to get to that goal weight. And at that point, you can say, I'm done. I'm cured. Absolutely. You can cross the finish line of your weight loss journey. But boy, if you got to that point right there, start over, and your starting over is a brand new life called lifetime. It's a brand new life called maintenance, and it looks exactly the same as your weight loss journey with the different mindset. So there is no ever curing this. You will be a Weight Watcher for life. We will all be Weight Watchers for life if we want to remain successful. So keep going there. Now, I'm also honored and glad to see that your friend saved your life and brought you to a meeting, and that the hashtag we see on Connect all the time is so powerful. It's the better together. We are better together. We need each other. And why that's so important is a lot of times we think we're in this journey alone. We think that we're the only one going through this process. And when your friend reached out to you and saved you, what an amazing gift that was. And the fact that you honored her by accepting the gift and getting it done is just tremendous work, and really, really excited to see that. And lastly, I loved the point that you said about who you follow, those on Connect who you see as leaders, whether formal or not. The absolute really most cool thing about a leader is a title that is not given, but it's earned. And so you could call me, or I could say, yeah, I'm a leader, but if I have no one following me, then I'm not a leader. The only way I can be a leader is if someone decides to follow me. So those who follow get to pick their own leader. So you get to pick people who you think are leaders, and the title doesn't matter because you're giving the title. So exactly what you said is you look for people who have done things that you're trying to do, and you look and then you follow people and you say, yeah, I want to do that. That person becomes a leader, whether they are or not. And the fact that you recognize that and you're doing that is outstanding work. And you don't need the actual title to be a leader. All you need is to inspire one other person and have that person do what you're trying to do. So in that sense, every single person who posts on Connect is a leader, right? Every single person has at least one other person that looks at that person and goes, yeah, I want to do that. I can do that. And because they took the courage to post it, I may now post. So that is incredible work. So thank you very much, Paula, for your email. It's exciting to read it. I can't wait to see. You've done 32.5 pounds is absolutely incredible. You're doing phenomenal work, and I can't wait to see when you get to your goal. Write in. Let me know when you get there. Speaking of that, folks, I want you to write in as well. If you hit your goal, hit 5%, you just need a bravo. I want to talk about it. I want others to hear what we're doing in this community. So go ahead and share it on air. Go to fatdag.com, click on podcast, send in your celebrations. You can tweet out it, wise advice, and tag me on Connect. Try and get to those posts as well. But we can do this. We are in this thing together, and we're getting it done. So thanks for being here. That's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You've got to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus.